Hi, we are now on lesson 3, step 2. Step 2. Unpack your assignment. We're on page 66. Please open up your books, page 66. All right. Before we start this, I really, again, I wanted to emphasize, first of all, we did opinion writing, where we try to sway someone's opinion to our opinion, right? Pluto, yay, nay. We did a good job on that, all right? So then we did the writing to inform. Writing to inform, we basically just had to learn about something. In this case, it was sources of power, and tell what we learned about it. All right, we weren't trying to sway anyone's opinion. But now we're doing writing a narrative, a legend. And with this, our purpose, the reason we're doing this is we're not going to sway anyone's opinion. We're not going to just tell people about what we learned. We are going to try to entertain them with a story. Yay! The kind that we like, right? Right. Okay. So, on page 66, let's have a look at this. Read along with me, please, okay? It says, as you have learned, the first step to planning a writing assignment is to identify your task, the purpose, why we do it, and the audience, who we are writing to. Unlike an opinion piece, just like I said, or an article which provide information, the purpose of a narrative writing is to entertain. All right. By now, you are familiar with the main story elements, the setting, the characters, and a plot with a beginning, middle, and end. And as you read your assignment, look for details about these story elements. Since you'll be writing a specific kind of narrative, a legend, look for clues about the unique story elements of a legend. Also, begin thinking of creative ways to develop story details that will hold your reader's interest and keep them entertained. We have tricks on how to do that, okay? Ways to write to make the readers really, really want to keep reading your story, all right? Now, down below here, what we have when we do step 2, the unpack your assignment, we have our assignment. But it's over on page 67, but we're over on 66. What's going on here? On 66, we are seeing what Lily Al-Farsi, who wrote the mentor text, the really good mentor text, okay, about Davy Crockett, this was her assignment, all right? So she got this assignment, and we're kind of getting a peek into what Lily, once she got the assignment, what she did and what she said and how she thought. And, this is her think aloud, okay? So we get a little peek into a good writer, how they think. So let's try this, all right? In the blue. This is Lily's assignment. This is what she got as her assignment, all right? You are entering a writing contest sponsored by a kids magazine. Your assignment is to write a legend about the real-life hunter and soldier Davy Crockett. Your legend should be set in the early 1800s in the state of Virginia. In your story, Davy will face another character in an alligator wrestling contest. He must use strength and quick thinking to win. In your legend, write a beginning that establishes the setting. That's where it takes place. The main character, whoever you choose. And a problem or challenge that the character is going to face. Otherwise, if the character doesn't face a problem, then it's a boring story. That's the way stories go, all right? So, in your legend, you're going to write a beginning that establishes the setting, the main character, and a problem or challenge the character faces. We got that? Good. Moving on to the next one. We're going to write the middle part, that shows how the main character tries to solve the problem. the character comes up against the problem, okay? We introduce the character, we introduce the setting, what they're doing, where they're doing, how they're feeling, then all of a sudden, boom, big problem, right? And then how do they solve the problem? That's the middle part. We have to figure out how they're going to be figuring out how to solve whatever problem that they're going to face. Your assignment, we're going to show you what we're going to face, okay? So next, we're going to write an ending that follows logically from what the character does in response to the problem. So if it has to make sense, all right? The ending has to make sense as to, it can't just be some sort of magic woohoo, okay? It has to make sense as compared to like, let's see, how can I say this? If they're going to talk about in a legend, let's think of a legend like, I can't think of any really good legends. There's some good stories, and I don't want to give those up yet. All right, but when I say writing ending that follows logically from what the character does in response to the problem, meaning that if the problem is one thing, then the response has to be solving that particular problem. Okay, it has to be a solution to the problem. Like I said, they can't just wave a magic wand and poof, it's back. There has to be some sort of solution. All right, now, that was her assignment. That was Lily's assignment. That's not our assignment. That's Lily's assignment. But this is what, once Lily got this assignment, over here on the right side of that, it says, think aloud. Now, the audience. Who's our audience? Or, I'm sorry, who's her audience? Her audience is, it says, my readers are children who reads kids' magazines. Some may be a little younger, and some maybe a little older than I am. So, I'm going to keep my story simple, but include exaggerated details that I think the older kids will enjoy. Right? Okay. Purpose. Why are we writing this story? It's simple. I've already told you this. It's the same all over. The assignment is to write a legend about Davy Crockett. A legend is a kind of a narrative or story, so I know my purpose is to entertain. Just like you guys are going to do. You're going to entertain with your story. I hope. Of course you will. Of course you will. Now the task. What is our task? All right. Since a legend is a kind of a story map, coming on down the road here, okay? A story map will help me organize details about the setting, characters, the problem, the beginning, the middle, and the end. This assignment gives me a lot of that information already. Davy Crockett will be a main character, and the setting will be Virginia in the early 1800s. It even tells me about my plot. There will be an alligator wrestling contest, and Davy will win. It's up to me to figure out how to make that suspenseful and entertaining. That is what Lily's thinking once she gets this assignment, okay? And that's kind of the same thing that you will be thinking once you get your assignment. And when are you going to get your assignment? Right now! Look over on page 67, okay? Here we go. Sorry, that side. 67. Your assignment is, are you ready for this? This is the important part because we're going to keep referring back to this as we go through this whole process of writing this story, because it's important that we still maintain a focus on what our assignment is. You all ready? Here we go. Here we go. You are entering a story writing contest at your local library. You must write a legend about a palace guard who recovers a king's stolen crown. The guard, who is known for his or her cleverness and quick thinking, has to come up with a plan for retrieving the crown from the king's enemy, who has stolen it and hidden it away in his own castle. That, so far, is our assignment. This is what we have to do, okay? This is we're going to be writing about this. All right? But we're going to read the story's legends, and that's how we're kind of going to get some information to help prepare you to write this story. So, again, it's not going to be information that you have to get things from, but these are legends, and we'll get to that. Okay, that's step 3. We'll get to that, but let's finish up with step 2 here. So we just read the tan part there, your assignment. All right? Now, down below that, it has 1, 2, and 3. Audience, task, and task. Kind of audience, purpose, and task. All right, we'll just call it that. But first of all, let's figure out who our audience is. Come on, guys, it's right there. It is the first sentence. It says right there, you are entering a story writing contest at your local library. You guys, I assume you guys have been to a local library. Who goes to a local library? Right? I would think that, like, kids and parents of the kids who like these kind of stories go to the library, right? Okay, so that's... For me, I would say kids and parents who like these kinds of stories. But that's up to you, whoever you think goes to the library. All right? So, but regardless, it's a contest at a local library, so our audience is going to be people that go to the library. Now, the task says, underline the details you must include. That's number 2. Okay, number 2. Underline the details you must include in each part of your legend. Look at the hint. What does the hint say? The hint says, what belongs in the beginning, middle, and end? It tells you right there in your assignment, the bulleted points, the little dot next to the sentences at the bottom, it says, in your legend, write a beginning that establishes the setting. So in the beginning, you're going to underline these 3 things, okay? Write a beginning that establishes the setting, the main character, and the problem or situation that sets the events in motion. All that underlined. Write a middle that shows how the main character tries to solve the problem. Underline, okay? Write an ending that follows logically from the character's actions. Now, 3, task. Again, task. Which details of your legend does your assignment provide for you? Okay. For Lily, they were talking about Davy Crockett, and it had to be in Virginia, it had to be in 1800, so they provided a lot of the details for Lily. For our details, what does it provide? It says, which details of your legend does your assignment provide for you? Let's look at that, where it says your assignment. You are entering a story writing contest at your local library. You must write a legend about a palace guard who recovers a king's stolen crown. That's a detail. Okay, so you would write that in there. So, palace guard who recovers a king's stolen crown. Okay, now, the guard is known, it says right here, guard is known for his or her cleverness. So everyone goes, that he's a smart cookie. Right? That's why he's probably a palace guard, probably one of the better ones, because he's smart and clever and quick thinking. So you would write that down there. And he has to come up with a plan for retrieving the crown from the king's enemy. Okay, has to have a plan. That's a detail. And the king's enemy has stolen it and hidden away in his own castle. That's another detail. So, these are the details that have to be in your story. Who are you going to choose for your palace guard? It could be anybody. Anybody. It could be anybody either living or in the past. All right? It could be George Washington is the palace guard. All All right, it could be Donald Trump. It could be anybody in the world, both living and dead. All right, some historical figures. I mean, Davy Crockett. She wrote about Davy Crockett, and he's been dead for way over 100 years. Okay, so you can choose whoever you want to be your characters. All right, you can choose whatever kind of setting you can have your palace in. These are where we're going to get creative, all right? Your characters, your settings, your palace, how he goes about figuring out how to get the crown back, all that kind of stuff, okay? That's the creative part that you guys are going to have. But these are the details in your assignment that have to be in there, all right? Now, I'll see you on step 3.